Hey everybody. We all know the injustice that takes place within the Palestinian Authority. I personally have been outspoken against this for years. Ari was outspoken against this for years. One of the laws on the books of the Palestinian Authority is the death penalty for any Arab who sells land to Jews. The death penalty. Did you hear that? This has been on the books for years. Any outcry from the world community, any outcry from human rights organizations, from peace activists, any outcry? Nothing. Zip. Silence. Right now, a U.S. citizen has been sentenced to life in prison by the Palestinian Authority for doing what? For selling an apartment in Jerusalem to Jews. Life in prison. Anything? Human rights organizations? Silence. Peace activists? Silence. Is there any thought that peace can be made with such a government, with such a culture, with such a peace partner? No. Impossible. Impossible. Arabs are allowed to buy land, are allowed to buy apartments. More than half of the French Hill Jewish community in Jerusalem has been bought by Arabs, some of it for money from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia and other Arab countries are financing the purchase of Jewish properties across Israel, especially in towns and cities where there is some Arab population, like Jerusalem, like Nazareth, like Jaffa, right? Foreign Arab Muslim money is being funneled into Israel to purchase Jewish properties wherever they can to strengthen the Jewish Muslim hold on the land of Israel. Okay? And for good or for bad, Israel has no laws against that. So that is permissible. And they have millions, so they're outbidding any Jews who want to buy those properties. But the Palestinian Authority has a death sentence, a death penalty for any Arab who sells land to Jews. So this U.S. citizen, right? Let me get you his name. The U.S. citizen's name is Issam Akel. Okay? He is a U.S. citizen. He has been only sentenced to life in prison. This guy got off lucky, guys. Did you hear that? He got off lucky. He could have been thrown to be shot, hung, killed, pulled in the streets by cars. He is lucky that he only got tortured and a life sentence. Lucky. And he probably only got a life sentence because of the high profile case that has been, because me and others here in Israel have raised the exposure of this case. And it's not me, but others were dealing with this beforehand. It got to the U.S. Embassy. It got to the U.S. Consulate. So Ambassador Friedman tweeted about this. The State Department issued something about it. It's probably because of the attention that it's been given that he has not been murdered and given the death penalty, and only given life in prison by the Palestinian Authority. Only a life in prison. But please everybody, understand. People have to wake up. Wake up! This is a red flag. These are not people we can make peace with. This Palestinian Authority is not an authority we can make peace with. It is an authority that is out to destroy Israel. It is an authority out to purchase Jewish properties. It is an authority that rewards terrorists for murdering Jews. It is an authority that educates children to murder Jews in their school books and on their television programs. There is no peace with the Palestinian Authority. And then we come to the ultimate original sin, which is the acceptance, the world's acceptance, and official Israel's acceptance of a historic people called Palestinians with an historic right to land here in the land of Israel, once called the British Mandate of Palestine, originally called Judea and Samaria. That is the original sin. So long as people still believe that there is such a historic people called Palestinians with a right to this land, then they allow all this craziness and hypocrisy and evil to continue. Please, everybody, help me and help me keep Ari's legacy alive in bringing people to understand there never was, never has been, never will, and isn't a historic people called Palestinians with any claim to this land. And if you want modern proof, I can go through the history, but let me give you modern proof. The United Nations resolution of 1947 to divide my Jewish country into two, into a Jewish country and to an Arab country. Go look at the language used by the United Nations in 1947. Nowhere do they use the terminology of a historic Palestinian people with a historic claim to Palestine. They use the terminology a Jewish state for Jews and an Arab state for Arabs. No mention of Palestinians. No mention of a state of Palestine. It was an Arab state for Arabs. That is the terminology used by the United Nations in 1947. The United Nations did not start using the term Palestinians until the 1960s, when it was invented as part of the Arab-Muslim strategy to destroy Israel, because they failed to destroy Israel in every war that they waged against us. So please, everybody, if anyone tries to tell you that there is a so-called historic Palestinian people with a legitimate claim to land here, a historic right to land here, that is a lie. They are a fake, invented people. They want to be called Palestinians today? Fine, call them that. But they are a fake, invented people with no historic claim to any land here. Nothing. And use that in standing up to other people who try to tell you otherwise. And you want to save this United States citizen who is now locked up for life by the Palestinian Authority for his sin of selling land to Jews? Help us get rid of this notion that there is such a people, such a historic people called Palestinians with a claim to this land, so that a so-called Palestinian Authority that represents that so-called people will be gone, and that those Arabs who truly want to live in peace with us will be able to, either as citizens of Israel, or as residents of Israel, or outside of Israel because they don't want to live here with the Jews. So help me, everybody, and help me keep Ari's legacy alive. Share, 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 and spread the truth. From the ancestral Jewish homeland of the Jewish people, we are home, baby. And the more we get the truth out there, the stronger the Jewish people here in the state of Israel will be to help the whole freedom-loving world, because we are all in this fight against jihadi Islam together. It's not just us. It's all of us. It's the same fight. We're just the canary in the coal mine. Shalom, everyone. Thanks for watching. And share, share, share.